Hello and welcome back to the Spinning Barn for your inspiration for the month of November. And I know I say it every month, don't I? But where on earth has that month of October gone? It's gone by so quickly. And here we are in the full flows of autumn and ready to start another month. So I've got something a little bit different for you this month, which doesn't necessarily involve any spinning or any knitting unless you want to, with the results of what we're going to be doing this time. Now, you may remember that last month I was sitting on my sofa and I had some flowers next to me, and I may have hinted that we were going to be trying a little dyeing project this time. So that is what we're going to do, some natural dyeing. Now, I know that many of you do this already, but for some of you, I know it's very new. So I would be really, really keen to see definitely the results from new dyers, spinners, from new dyers. If this is a project that's new to you, I desperately want to see how you get on. But also for those of you that already do lots of natural dyeing, I'd love to have some input from all of you as well, just to show us some different colour variations from different materials that you've used, because the range is so vast, isn't it? I just had a walk around my paddocks and my gardens, and I was actually planning on using acorns. And do you know what? I haven't got any acorns this year on my trees. I have got, I don't even know how many, but probably 30 or more oak trees in my paddocks. And I cannot find a single acorn this year. Now, whether that's to do with the weather, whether that's just, I understand they do have a natural rest period, but it seems quite strange because I was going to do some lovely fawn shades with those, but that went by the by. But obviously out there we have lots of different leaves. There are still lots of plants out there giving us lots of colour as well. And so I actually walked around the garden and I found some marigolds that were just about to go over, but still had that beautiful deep orangey red colour. They were stunning. So I've used those and I have put together a little series of videos for you. Hopefully it's all going to work as one. Now, I will apologise here. I actually recorded it just after I was poorly with COVID recently, and it was the first thing I did as I started to feel a bit better. And I was trying to record it all with one hand on my phone. So I hope it works well enough for you to be able to understand what I did and for you to be able to repeat that. So as always, I can't wait to see how you get on. I'd love to see your interpretation. Let's see what you can find in your garden and in the hedgerows on your walks. And let's use those beautiful, beautiful natural products that we've got out there at our disposal for free, hopefully, and see what you can come up with. And again, some beautiful colours, I'm sure, which will give you some inspiration, maybe for some autumnal themed spinning and knitting. So I look forward to seeing what you get up to. And again, shout if you need any help, pose your questions, share your advice, and let's do this together again and see what we can produce. Okay, so here we go with the video, and I'll say bye for now. Bye-bye. Now, I hope you can see inside the bowl here. So the marigolds have been in the hot water just under simmering for about 10 minutes, and already the colour is really, really deep. I'm just trying to get a good picture of that without the steam. So I'll leave that for a little bit longer and see how much colour we can develop. In my other pan over here, I have my skeins of yarn which are scouring just to make them extra clean, to make sure I've got all of the lanolin out. I think I may have gone a little bit overboard with the washing up liquid, but that'll be nice and clean. I'll give that a couple more minutes. So I'm giving that about a 10-minute soak in hot water, but again, not boiling, just under simmer. And then I should give that a good rinse, ready for the next step. Here are my skeins that have all been rinsed. They had 3 rinses in warm water just to make sure that it was all running clear and that all the detergent and any residual lanolin had been thoroughly removed. Obviously, the point of removing the lanolin is to make sure that the wool is as clean as possible so that the dye can actually adhere to the wool. Obviously, if it was greasy, that wouldn't happen, would it?
The next stage is going to be to add the wool to an alum solution, which we'll come on to next. So now my skeins are in the alum solution. Now the alum needs to be at a ratio of 15 grams for every 100 grams of dry wool. So you will need to have weighed your wool before you actually start this process. Now I'm going to bring that up to temperature, and then I'm going to leave it just to work its magic for about an hour. So the purpose of the alum is that it actually almost roughens up the fibres, which helps the dye to adhere. You are also supposed to add a little bit of bicarbonate of soda, which will counteract that and soften the wool. However, in my haste, I forgot to get some, so I'm doing it without. So we'll be a bit of an experiment and see what happens. But anyway, we'll leave this for about an hour, and then we'll come back to this and do the next part. Now the flowers have been simmering away there in the heat for about an hour and a half, and you can already see, look, there's colour on the side of the pan, isn't there? Can you see that in the sunshine? I think that's going to look so pretty, isn't it? The next thing I need to do is just strain it through my big sieve into a bowl, just to remove all the flour before I start adding my wool to the pot. Okay, so there's all the remaining flower heads. Let's have a look underneath. Let's see what we've got in our bowl. Oh wow, I'm really quite amazed at how dark that looks actually. You can see just as the light shines through the bowl, can you see in the corner there the colour? It looks amazing, doesn't it? So I'm going to put that back into the bowl, sorry, into the saucepan. Fabulous, lovely. And I'm going to now remove the wool from the alum solution, squeeze out the excess. Sorry, you can actually see my phone reflecting in this, can't you? Squeeze out the excess and then put the yarn into my dye bath. Okay, so I've got my dye bath, and I'm just going to take my skeins and just drop them into the water. Oh gosh, this is so exciting, isn't it? I've never done this before, so I'm really excited to see how the colour develops and just what shade of gold we get. I'm expecting a nice golden colour, but we'll see. I think I might have a little bit too much yarn in this pot. I might have to just keep pushing that down every now and again. I don't know. We'll see together, won't we? But let's see what happens with that. I'm just going to, as I turn the camera off actually, I've got both hands free, I'm going to just adjust that in there to make sure it's actually all covered. Then I'm going to leave that there just on a warm temperature. Again, we don't want it bubbling away, just under simmer. I'm going to leave it for about half an hour, then leave it to cool. And I'm actually going to leave that until this evening and let that colour really develop. But if I get any exciting results as I'm doing it, I'll come back and show you, okay? Well, here we are, actually 24 hours later. I got a bit sidetracked and didn't have time to actually deal with this last night. So let's have a quick look at what we've got. I'm going to try and do this one-handed, of course. Let's have a little peep in here. Oh, wow, look at that. Can you see the colour? That is fantastic. Right, what I'm going to do is just take it out. I'm going to just squeeze out some excess water and rinse it all, and I will be back and show you the results.
Hello again. So I hope you found the video useful and that you've been able to produce some gorgeous colours. Now, I'm sure you're dying to see the results of my tutorial and what I actually did produce from my gorgeous marigolds. Well, let me show you. Here we go. Look. We had a beautiful, beautiful golden yellow, and I hope you can see the depth of colour. But let's take this up to my camera. See if you can see that depth of colour in there. It's a really, really bright, yellowy, golden colour. So I think that was really, really successful. What do you think to that? I'm really happy with that, just with a few flowers. I think there are some areas in here which maybe aren't quite as well dyed as others, but that was just the fact that I didn't have quite enough liquid with the amount of wool that I had. But yeah, really pleased with that. It's just like a little bit of sunshine, isn't it, on an autumn day? Beautiful. So that's going to remind me of our summer garden again, as usual. It's beautiful. There we go. Looking forward to seeing yours, and I hope yours has been just as successful. Okay, thanks, and bye for now. See you soon.